Welcome back to another episode of the Offer Hustle. It's your favorite host, DJ, MC, and cousin, Deona Hustle. Major shout out to NSPN. Shout out to the shop for allowing us to host our podcast here. This, I believe, is episode 43. Yep. See, I finally got it right. I knew we was going to get there eventually. Now, today's episode, if you notice, I have on pink. I don't really even own that much pink, which I'm trying to up. Another conversation for another day. But this is our Valentine's, our love episode. So I need y'all to get into it. If you got a partner, a spouse, a sneaky link, you might want to call them in a room right now. Emphasis on the sneaky link. Call them in a room because this is the time for you to learn a little bit, maybe about yourself and some more about your partner, and maybe if this person is going to be in your life 10 years from now. I'm just the messenger. All right, so we just going to hop right in. The special thing about this guest is not that she has all the licenses that you can think of. I felt like I was going down a list of the ABCs when I read all the things that she has. But it's also because she's a St. Louis native.
Hey.
So I brought my St. Louis hat. And then she also is a grad of Lutheran North. Woo-hoo. Shout out to LHSN because I don't run into many of us, like especially in Kansas City. Yeah. So once we connected and I found that out, I was like, oh, we got to have you on the show. So if you've seen Whole Youth Therapy, KC, you've seen her, mention the St. Louis LHSN. Shout out to y'all. I'll be looking for my check shortly. She is a marriage therapist. She has her LPC, PLPC, NCC, all of the things that you can imagine. Her specialties, marital and premarital, sex therapy, self-esteem, expertise in anxiety, body image, which is so important, especially in this day and age with filters and all those things, career counseling, life transition, stress, which we all have. I got a lot right now. Many more things. Please welcome Aleisha Olatunde. Thank you for coming. Yep, we got you. We gonna clap. And the shirt says Black Therapists Matter.
Period. Because we do.
We do. Okay. Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So we have a lot of things to discuss with you today.
Okay, I'm ready.
And I've already mentioned to her, FYI, we got a new segment where we got some actual phone calls that we're going to play, and she's going to answer some of those questions. Yeah. So stay around for that. But I want to start with the icebreaker first.
Yeah, okay.
So it's going to be a little bit about you, maybe some music.
Okay.
We like to talk about music here.
Okay.
And then maybe more about your strategy and maybe like your approach as a therapist.
Yeah.
R&B and hip hop. Which one?
R&B.
Okay. Now, do you prefer groups or individual acts?
Ooh.
Because when I hear R&B, I can go 90s and I can think of,
Okay, so here's the
where
thing.
we going?
Born in the 80s, so obviously lived in the 90s.
Okay, yes.
That's a hard one.
You had a great era to be growing up in.
The era of music, just hands down, bar none, best era. Anyway,
valid. I'm with you when you're
okay,
right.
Good.
Yeah,
appreciate you.
I was born in 96, and I think the R&B was elite in the 90s.
Very much so. Oh, if you're going to make me pick.
Gotta pick.
Ooh.
Or at least give me your top individual act.
Okay.
And your top group. Still difficult.
That still made me hard. Right. Okay. So, because I grew up dancing and so I listened to a lot of different music. Okay. If I have to pick, I would say, ooh. I mean, I was very much so a Destiny's Child stan.
Okay. I felt like you was going to say that. I don't know why.
I was. I'm also a musical theater kid. So, like, if you singing and dancing, like, that really does steal my heart, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, solo?
Your solo act. You already said Destiny's Child, so you can't really say any of them either.
Like, absolutely. No,
you can't go Beyonce.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I mean, love her work ethic, but no.
Yeah.
Ooh, from the 90s?
A lot of great
honestly,
artists.
But you know what? I liked a lot of older music too. So I would say if I'm going to go solo act.
She was listening to some Patrice Rushen.
I mean, give me a little Minnie Riperton. Give me a little Jesse Powell. Give me a little
Tina Marie or something.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Listen, it was just an era.
You can't pick.
I can't.
It's okay. It's okay.
You see, I just started.
Yeah, I know. Well, this next question might be hard, but I feel like it's simple for me because I've answered this on the show.
Okay.
St. Louis fried rice or Kansas City barbecue?
Girl, St. Louis fried rice. Bye.
On to the next. Yep, simple. Homework between sessions or no homework at all?
No, the work happens in between sessions.
So the work happens in between, meaning like you might send someone out and be like, hey, work on this.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
Oof, okay.
Yeah.
Before I sign up, now I know. Okay. Look, I'm asking these questions for me. All right. A couple that text all day or barely text.
That one doesn't move me as much because it really depends on the relationship dynamic. So really, honestly, for that, it just really depends on whatever makes sense for your relationship. Yeah.
So what do you do if there's a couple that has one person that wants to text all day, and it's that person that's like, I'm busy and I'm tired. Let's talk at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's my life. I mean, finding the compromise and finding the middle ground, right? That's with any relationship, but especially with romantic relationships. What is a way that both of us can still feel fulfilled within whatever the need is? So
okay, we starting off strong.
We are.
Never go to bed angry, or we should sleep on it.
So here's the thing.
Everything has an asterisk by it.
It is very much so, because life is so nuanced, right? It's not black and white.
Right.
Realistically, there are times where you're going to go to bed angry, right? If it's at a point where you can no longer have a productive conversation,
then you should take a beat.
You need to take a beat. Now, also, I'm not a person who feels like my couples, we need. So I give you something that I do. We take a 20-second time out. Whoever disengages from the discussion, the argument, heated fellowship, whatever you want to call it, it's your responsibility to time back in a reasonable amount of time.
Wait, did you say heated fellowship?
I did.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Heated fellowship.
We had that is insane. Oh, I'm finna implement that.
Come on,
we had a heated. How would I put that in a sentence? Because I want to utilize it correctly.
Yeah. So, me and Boo was hanging out, and we started talking about like a difference of opinion with something, and it just really turned into a heated fellowship. And I don't understand how we started and how we got here.
That is insane. I love it. Okay, I didn't learn something. We haven't even hit 5 minutes. Okay, date nights or daily small gestures?
Both.
That's important.
Yes.
You answered that quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question. It's a bonus question.
Okay.
As a licensed therapist, do you find yourself unconsciously trying to be your husband's therapist or overanalyze moments?
No, I actually work to do the opposite.
Really?
You're not paying me.
Be like, I'm not finna overdo this.
I'm not. Are there times in which like my brain notices it? Yes, but I'm very cautious about when I say something and when I don't. But honestly, I am more so like, no, because you're just going to automatically assume. Like, I'm still an observer of human behavior.
Yeah.
So, but I try to make it intentional.
Yeah. Because I think people's biggest misconception about even dating people that are in the field that you're in is, oh my goodness, they going to want a Iyanla Vanzant in my life all the time. I feel like that's what people would think.
Yeah, no, that's too exhausting.
Yeah, because you, like you said, I'm not clocked in right now.
Hello?
I'll send you an invoice if I accidentally do.
Hello.
Make sure you pay in advance. Well, I want to talk about your personal journey. I know you are from St. Louis. So when did you come to Kansas City?
So I graduated college 2010, moved here in 2011, which fun fact, many people don't know, at that time, you needed a bachelor's degree to be a manager at Abercrombie & Fitch.
Really?
Yes.
You kidding me?
No.
They got some good jeans though.
I'm a little curvy. So
I
don't bit more that one. But so I moved here in 2011 because they transferred me to the store in Independence.
Okay.
So that was how I got here.
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, how did you end up? Okay.
Yeah, that's how I got to Kansas City. And then
crazy.
They didn't pay me enough for people to try and fight me for the clothes. So then I quit. Yeah.
Oh, no. We clocking out. That's like when people be running out the stores to tackle people when they steal. Yeah. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no.
They ain't paying us that much.
No, they're not.
They have insurance.
Hello?
Okay. Okay, so from that point on, the journey between you realizing, did you always know you wanted to be in therapy?
This is my second career.
What was the first career?
Yeah, so my undergrad degree is in marketing, actually.
Okay.
And so I, when people say marketing, you get looped into like the sales jobs. And so it took me quite a while in order to actually get into a marketing field. So I actually didn't really start using my degree till about 2015, I think. maybe 2016, in which I worked for a marketing firm that focused in on education.
Okay.
And so I was an inbound marketing strategist for colleges and universities. And then I
that's
felt
amazing.
a little like holy nudge to be like, hey girl, this is actually not it. So I actually quit during the pandemic.
Really?
I was very fearful to have this conversation with my husband because we were newly married. We got married in 2019. And fun fact.
Is he from Kansas City?
No, we're actually, that's what I was just about to tell you. So we're actually both from St. Louis.
Oh, I love that.
My mom actually went to his mom back in like 1993 for this dress. She's an African designer, but we never met. I was in his house.
Wow.
And never met him until we met here. So
that's a seed. If I don't know, that's crazy.
That's not even 6 degrees of separation, right?
Yeah.
So also fun fact, we got engaged on Family Feud. So if you've seen that
on Family Feud,
you've seen the viral video of the.
Well, you know what we finna do?
Oh God.
We'll clip it in here. Don't you fret.
Insert here.
Yes.
So like we got engaged on Family Feud.
Really?
And all of the things. Yeah. So
okay. So he proposed on Family Feud.
He did.
Wow.
We got married in 2019, and then I was like, oh shoot, this actually doesn't feel like what I'm supposed to be doing with my life because I've always wanted to help people.
Yeah.
And so it kind of was like, okay. I tried to do that through the marketing thing, and this just isn't making sense. And so that holy nudge was like, hey, girl, I want you to help people in the area of sex. And I said, excuse me? Because I grew up in purity culture.
Right.
And so what do you mean you want me to? How can I?
Yeah, how does that transition happen?
So went through a sex coaching program and then decided, okay, that can be helpful. That's practical. But like, what about the people who maybe have had like trauma or like, how can I really be effective in that way? And so that's when I then went and got my master's of science in clinical mental health counseling. And then I have not looked back since then.
You've just been doing your thing. And you mentioned 3 businesses. Break down to us those 3 businesses that you currently are involved in.
So therapy-wise, Whole You Therapy. So obviously, and all the things that you named.
Yes.
And so the second business is Blissful Birth, in which I am a HYPNO-Baby certified hypnobirthing instructor.
Wow.
And so it makes sense for my brain because it's teaching you how to essentially have the best birth, one, that you can, but 2, it really helps mitigate when people are experiencing birth trauma and equipping them not only to be advocates of themselves during the pregnancy and postpartum process, whether that be with your care providers, your family, your friends, but really having the say, right? Because at the end of the day, and this is no shade or disrespect to medical professionals, I hired you. And so, yes, you give me your expertise, but I ultimately, have
make the decision of which direction I want you to go in. Yeah, exactly.
So really being able to help those families, but also we integrate hypnosis into the birth. And so there's lots of tracks that people listen to starting at 28 to 30 weeks and then through the duration of the pregnancy.
Really?
So I do that. And then the last business is Whole Intimacy, which is just bare bones sex coaching.
So what is the difference between sex coaching and sex therapy? Yes.
Yeah. So the coaching is like practical, hands-on, like try this, use these lubes, like try these positions.
Okay.
Right.
So that sounds like more of the candy coated nights, candy bursts.
Yeah. More, yes. Okay. More leaning towards that. When we're talking about the sex therapy part of it, we're deep diving into like the cognitive things about it. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, like I said, I grew up with purity culture. So while I've never experienced like a big T trauma, as we, sometimes use that language, there were still things that shaped my view of sex that were unhealthy. Right. And so really navigating those things. But, if people have experienced like sexual trauma or rape or molestation or any of those types of things that are now showing up in their relationships now, how are we then, and that's one of the things that I use EMDR for, which is the trauma modality, to be able to take what we call like that negative cognition and what happened and linking it to something that you would rather believe, to really allow the body to, the nervous system to calm down enough and for you to feel safe enough to really be able to engage and have a healthier sex life.
Yeah.
So that's just, it goes way deeper in that. Like, you know,
Yeah, I'm sure.
It could be addictions or pornography. Like, it can go
All
into
those
so
type
many
of
different
things,
facets.
yeah.
But
now, how does one that is a spouse of someone who might have dealt with the trauma that you spoke of? I know that say that person is doing the work themselves to try to get to a more comfortable space. Yeah. But what does that partner? What does it look like for them showing up and trying to figure out how to navigate that?
Yeah. So I'm a proponent in general of if people, and again, right, affordability, right? So I'm a proponent of a person, each individual person having their own therapist, and then somebody together as a couple.
Okay. I was going to ask you, do you think people need to have the same person individually? And because that seems like a lot.
So here's the thing. I personally, as a couples therapist who sees individuals, will not. One, because I have a no secrets policy. And I don't have time for the mental gymnastics.
Yeah, because they telling you
to remember
thing.
what I'm not supposed to tell.
Right. Yeah, that's a lot.
No.
Yeah, no.
No. So
not doing it.
There might be people out there who do. I personally absolutely do not.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds safer not.
Yes, I agree. Because you just, in a world where you are not able to feel like you're seen, you want to just have a place. And sometimes we don't feel seen by our partners. And so have a place that just belongs to us is valuable.
Yeah.
As well as having somebody who sees the couple as the client, who is just looking at that vested interest. So I definitely recommend that. But for the partner who's trying to support, right? So patience, obviously, understanding that it's not your fault unless it is, right?
Unless it is. Right. Unless it is got a big asterisk by it.
Unless it is. But if we're going kind of with the narrative of, say something happened in childhood and you're trying to lovingly walk with them as they are maybe wanting to be more exploratory with whatever sexual things that you guys are comfortable with in your relationship. Patience is a big part of it. Understanding like not only boundaries and the rules of engagement, if you will, but hearing no and knowing that it's not an indictment on you or, you know,
like not taking the rejection
exactly
internally,
which
or
it
something
still
like that.
Can feel like that. And it's
like, oh, right. Why they do that to me? Or what is it about me? And,
right. Like, I'm not the one that did this to you, so I don't understand why I have to pay.
Yeah.
Right. And so again, this is the reason why I say having somebody for the couple and individuals to really help them walk through that is vitally important. So I know that was a very roundabout way of answering your question.
This is great. No, this is great. Mom and my grandmother, y'all might need to log off of this because I have some more questions I'm about to ask her regarding this topic. So y'all might as well just go ahead and click on through. How does one, I mean, once again, I know it's not one size fits all when it comes to things. So I'm kind of just asking you a general, like maybe what are your thoughts? Yeah. When someone is in a position of they really want to introduce X, Y, and Z, but they don't want the dynamic of their relationship to change, and they're like, hey, I want to try or I want to do this. Yeah. How would you kind of tell that person that they should go about it?
Yeah. So there's a lot of practical ways. And so this is my approach as a therapist in general. Talk therapy is great. I want to give you things that actually have an impact. Right. And so one of the things that I give couples is red, yellows, and greens. And so you construct these lists by yourself. Red is obviously, these are things that I absolutely will never do. Don't ask me again. Don't pass go. Right. Don't collect $200. You will never collect.
You never ever
on these. Okay. Right. Obviously your greens are, you don't even got to ask me. It's whatever. Right. It could be whatever.
Once we leave.
Hello.
That's what it's given. Okay.
Matter of fact, guess, get out.
Yeah.
Okay. And then your yellows are your things where it's just like, okay, I'm interested in this. I may not be ready right now. And then you just share.
It's not a no.
But it's not a no. And then you share those.
Interesting.
There are lots of apps. I was about to start naming, but they ain't paying me. But there are lots of apps out here that also do some similar things where essentially they're kind of like sex inventories, and then you can sync your phones up together. And then you'll be able to see what's compatible. Exactly.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I didn't know any of this was like, this is insane.
Yeah. It's lots of resources out here. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to take a pause from the sex therapy and coaching conversation. I told you earlier that I had a segment of voicemails that were left. So I have a few of them. Okay. I'll dip into, we'll do 2 right now, and then I'll do a few others later.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to play, actually, oh my gosh, I'm looking now. Oh my goodness. One of these did the food. Oh my goodness. It's a couple of our you have to put these on. So hold on, it'll play shortly. So yes, please. And in the future, you can always hit up Hustle and send some voicemails because we would love to hear from you. Let me start off with the first one.
What effect does she think that social media is having on marriages and relationships? And as women, when does she think that we should speak up for ourselves or either do action things such as leaving a man when he's not meeting our desires? Not necessarily saying that he's a horrible guy or anything like that, but we feel like our desires is not being met. Is that something that we should just express, or is that something that we should lend more patience to?
Okay.
Fully loaded question.
Very loaded.
Yes.
Okay. So the first part of the question was what? Because I mean,
social media.
Social media. Okay,
on marriage and relationships.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So here's the thing. Comparison kills, right? And so, and that can be in any realm, but especially when we start talking about relationships and marriage and the facade, and not remembering that people are posting their highlight reel, right?
They're putting their best foot forward on social media.
Exactly. And so it does definitely, if you are not in a healthy relationship, or if you have some insecurities for whatever reason, it can definitely hurt. I think that if you have a healthy perspective, you can find inspiration.
Yeah.
There are a lot of, accounts out there where it's like, pray for your husband, or, even recently, right, with Christy and Desmond.
Oh yeah, and the couple on TikTok.
Yeah, and so
I'm so tired of seeing people think pieces on them.
Like,
leave them people alone.
Yo, hello, because you really have no idea what's happening.
Yeah,
exactly. And so when we idolize these relationships, and then we start looking at our partners through the lens of somebody's blueprint, you're essentially not watering the grass that you have. Right?
That's you looking at somebody else's lawn, like, but they.
And you then turned your hose instead of watering your grass where you're at, like, right? And like practically. And so it really just depends on the mindset of the person. And so here's the thing, you have to know thyself. And so if you know that you can't quite view your relationship for the realities of what it is, and that's not to say that you don't have expectations. It's not to say that you don't want to see growth.
Yeah.
But if you start to idolize these online relationships in a way that you stop showing up in your own relationship,
then that might speak volumes.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, you handled that.
Right. So, okay. So the second part, right? Expectations not being met.
Yeah. So when is it okay to maybe walk away? Is it necessary to walk away? Is it that's what it sounded like.
Yeah. That's very nuanced, right? Because people have different tolerance levels.
Yeah.
And so I don't really like, like when people talk about like, 80-20, all of these different things, right? But there is a bit of a realistic nature, right? Our partners cannot give us everything, nor should they, right? There are some things that I can get from my husband, absolutely. But there are other parts where like maybe this part of my personality, or I'm more social than my husband, right? And so I can't expect him to give that.
Yeah.
And so,
because that's not who he is.
Exactly.
But you knew that when you met him. So
exactly. And so were there moments when we were dating where it was just like, I know that you like being in the house, but also I like to be outside.
Right. Let's go. Let's go outside the house.
Right. And so like where does the compromise fall within that? I know I keep saying compromise, but like legitimately in all of our relationships, it's necessary, right? And so if you feel like you are not bringing out the best in the other person, you have to make that decision for yourself. And I know that probably sounds like, oh, well, you didn't really answer. Well, because I cannot tell you when it's
time for you to really leave. Right.
Right. Your tolerance level. But also, are you being realistic?
Yeah.
right? Like, is there a world in which you are, perfect example. We always want to ask all of these things of our partners, but don't show up as those things.
Don't even do that for them. Yeah, you're right. See, she just tagging somebody now.
And I'm not sorry. I'll add more to it before I take it away.
I love that. Okay, we got another voicemail.
Okay.
Practice individual. How can couples practice individuality without losing love when one of the two struggle with interdependence?
Good question.
He went in there, didn't he?
He took it there.
Look.
Not take me.
Ooh.
If you want me to play one more time, I
Yeah,
can.
one more time.
I got you.
Practice. How can couples practice individuality without losing love when one of the two struggle with interdependence?
So my brain immediately goes to codependence, right? And so I'm imagining that the lack of continual couple focused things is the issue. Because I guess by the prompt, one of the people in there isn't wanting to be focused on their independence, right?
Right. They want to be fully engulfed in the relationship.
Exactly.
And,
Exactly. Okay. So that's why I was like, wait a minute. My brain just had to process it for a second. Okay. So
should we like a therapist that takes the time?
I do.
No, nobody want no quick microwave answers. You so used to the air fryer, you want a quick answer.
You better get
I am finna go home and put something in the air fryer. No, I'm just saying.
Look, okay. First of all, baby, go get the one who got the codependency issue. Baby, go get some help. Okay. We got sliding scale options, openpathcollective.org. You know, I know times is hard. And really diving into why you feel like this person has to be your everything. And like what is uncomfortable about you not being able to
be.
Yeah.
Just be.
Yeah. Because they're right, like as human beings, like we naturally crave connection, right? Regardless of, and I know we're talking about like attachment styles and all those things. I know we'll get to that. But we naturally crave connection, right? And so there's not anything wrong with that per se. But when you start to see somebody operating in a way that is independent of you and start to feel like you are losing them, there are larger things at play that I would just challenge a person to really be self-reflective in. Why is it that you are not comfortable being in your own skin?
Yeah.
What about being alone, right? Because there's a difference between being lonely and being alone.
Yeah.
What about being alone is so petrifying to you that you feel like them being alone means that they don't love you or they're trying to go dip off with they sneaky link, whatever. Like,
right. You start to think all the things that's just like, why is your mind wandering to that point?
Exactly. Creating all of these narratives and anxieties that really don't exist. And it's really not fair to either of you to exist in that space because one person, you know, it feels like I'm continually having to careful in my language.
Go ahead. I was like, go ahead.
I just have to continually not even pacify. Sometimes it can lean into that.
Can it feel like that?
Yeah, but I have to continually like stroke the scared parts of you.
And that gets to a point where you're like, I can't do that.
I am drained.
You got to do the work to make sure you're not feeling like that.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't weigh on me and now I'm carrying 3 backpacks.
Yeah. Or I'm no longer existing in my independence because I have to cater so much to you. Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for answering that. I have one more for you, and then I got some other questions we'll hop into.
Yeah.
There's so many of them. I'm just trying to pick. I'm like, oh my goodness. Let's see. Oh, this might be realistic. Let me see.
Are situationships a communication issue or a boundaries issue?
Are situations a communication
See, that hyper independent.
It's more. So,
okay.
That's why I said I'm trying to pick one. Are situationships a communication issue or boundary issue? Even if you feel like it's either or, because I feel like maybe situationships could be anything.
Yeah. Right. So when we're talking about boundaries, that's the things that we set for ourselves.
Yeah.
So if you are engaging in a situation, you are in effect. It's your fault.
It's you putting yourself in a situation.
Correct.
Because you're deciding to encounter this situationship.
Exactly.
So I guess it's more so leaning on the boundaries, but it's your boundaries.
That
is
you
what
are
it's saying.
violating. Other people cannot violate your boundaries.
People only do what you. Yeah, that's real. Yeah,
correct.
You kind of clock that real quick.
I mean,
What about self-sabotage? How do you feel about that? I'm gonna say this because I feel like when I was younger, I probably did that a lot, but I had my reasons. Like I'm not saying it was okay, but I was cool because it was like, I don't want you to leave me alone anyway. So you won't leave me alone.
Oh, so you mean you weren't being direct and exiting?
No, I've had situations where I might have been direct.
Okay.
People don't take a hint sometimes.
And so you see how you said direct and you hint, that's not congruent.
Okay, you right. What Young Miami say? You know it's tea when you see them. Okay, no, but like maybe, okay. So I've had different where I felt like I was self-sabotaging.
Okay.
Certain maybe just relationships, not necessarily full on romantic, but something to that degree where it's just like I got too much going on, this and that, and I might have realized later, and I was like, oh, I was kind of not putting my best foot forward, so I would get around having to make that exit.
Yeah.
Or feel like I've had a situation or two where I was directly maybe saying this is not what I want and desire. And so to kind of add to that, so it can be like, maybe you can see it's not either. I'm just not meeting your maybe the things that you would like me to do. And I feel like that could be considered self-sabotage. No?
Okay.
Maybe? I don't know. You tell me, what are your thoughts on self-sabotage, period?
So
and what type of place you feel like you typically see it come from?
Yeah. So if we're talking about it from a relational context, right? Where my mind goes is you're self-sabotaging. Why? Is it like I don't feel like I can live up to your expectation, your hopes, your like are what we want in the long run not the same?
Yeah.
Like what is the kind of like precipitating event?
Right. What's like
that's causing you to like want to take a step back. If it's something that's healthy, then I wouldn't categorize that as self-sabotage.
Really?
Right? In the sense of if it's like in the long term we don't want the same things, I don't think that that's self-sabotage. Right? It's really about the motivation and intent. That's where my mind immediately goes. I'm sure other therapists have different thoughts and approaches on it, but that's where my mind first goes. Now, if it really is just like you're afraid, or you want somebody else to go ahead and break up with me because I actually don't want the responsibility. Right,
you don't want the weight of it. That's different.
Exactly, that's very different. But if it's like I don't feel like I deserve this, but the other person has continued to affirm and show like, no, like I'm in this with you. Like what is the fear? Because they're sitting here. Come on, skirt. What is it that doesn't allow you to show up fully when I'm showing you that I'm 1,000% invested in you? Like, yes, self-sabotage there, right?
Yeah.
And really just honestly being truthful with yourself and them. Because if you're running scared, hey, I can't be all of these things for you. And they're like, well, actually, I didn't even ask for that from you.
Or what about the people that are like, yeah, but you'll get there. They do want that from you, but they're okay to ride the ride right now. Because they believe in you and they believe that things are going to change or whatever.
What evidence do we have of that?
That would be a good question. So I guess that would be the question that they should ask.
What evidence?
Like, do I really have, like, what, do I have any faith in them? Because I've seen it.
Yeah.
I know that they're going to change. I know that they've done these certain things and they've opened up. So that's valid. Yeah. And if nobody has done, if you don't see any progress with anything, it's like, why would you expect them to?
Yeah.
So like Cardi B and Stephon Diggs.
Because why would you?
Because why did you expect him not to bring his 20 baby mamas to the game and you're number 21? I'm just asking. Okay. You know it's T. What
You did, God, dog.
Last name ain't, that's, hey. His last name ain't Diggs for no reason, so. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. That makes sense. A question I've always had in my head, because when I'm talking about like high school, I didn't really date in high school. I didn't start dating until college.
Okay.
Because I just wasn't my steez. I was more so a person that I was super focused on, all I was doing was hooping, playing basketball, and even now I'm super career driven.
Yeah.
That's the type of person I am. I've always put that love, relationships and stuff on the back burner, I felt like. But I also felt like I never ran into the right person that was like, oh yeah, you're really enhancing my life till now. So I have somebody where it's like, yeah, now you're adding value to what I have going on. So it's like nobody else was doing that. So like, it makes sense now. Yeah. But one thing that I always thought about when I was younger, another reason why I might have had fear of dating like high school was because I've only seen one successful relationship come out of high school. Well, I've seen a couple, but my best friend and her fiance, and I love them and they're perfect for each other and they're getting married this year. Nice. So I'm so excited for them. Well, next year. So I'm so excited for them, but they're the only relationship that I've seen come out of high school. Yeah. What happens when your partner evolves in ways you didn't expect? Yeah. Because that's why I've always been nervous about like trying to have a childhood relationship.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that's when we're talking about like high school and those couples, because, there are people who they make the long haul.
Yeah, they make it.
And there's
salute to y'all.
Hello? Because I don't.
You said.
Anyway,
see, technically yours came really full circle. So you really can you say that?
No,
I don't know.
No. I'm not. I like. Nope. I never met him, so
Okay, so it didn't count. It didn't count. It didn't.
So I think because you go through so many iterations of growth as a person, right? From like a high school up until now, like really weathering that storm can be difficult, right? And so it depends on what type of evolution that we're talking about. And right, because essentially we are two people who are walking in parallel to one another, right? And so there are times in which we might be, kind of doing this thing where you kind of just going out a little bit, but I'm still
right.
I'm still moving.
I'm still aboard,
right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, it kind of goes back to this idea of like, what are the boundaries? What are the standards? What are the expectations? If it is just a thing of, I didn't envision you in this way, I need you to check yourself. Right?
The person that's saying that needs to check themselves.
Yes. And the reason why I say that is because if it's like, okay, you're not going into the career, we got together in high school. And you said you wanted to be an engineer. Right. And now you want to be a vet.
Right.
Or
now you rapping.
Uh-oh.
I'm just throwing it out there. I seen a post the other day. I'm sorry to cut you off. It said it was when the snowstorm hit Kansas City. And they was like, y'all rather rap and we need snowplow drivers. MoDOT, where you at?
Because why has MoDOT been trash since I was born?
Facts. I grew up. I remember in St. Louis, everybody was always complaining about MoDOT. They was like, where was y'all at? Where was the salt? Where was y'all at when we was trying to get to work?
No, for real. Oh, God.
They was in the bed sleep. Okay, let's get back on track.
They was trying to stay in the house with the rest of us.
Yeah, they were.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like those types of things, does that trigger maybe your issues of stability? Yeah. Right? To me, when we're talking about relationships, are you willing to look at the person's bag? So the emotional stuff that they got.
Everything that they have.
And are you willing to carry it with them?
Well, you ask it like that, you got a lot of people that's about to jump ship.
But because that's the reality of it, right?
Yeah.
If we're talking about, right, for the people who have a desire to get married, right, the for better, for worse, for richer, for in sickness and in health, the foundational aspects of that, right, trust, having, because sometimes you don't have capacity, right? Like I'm in an age group where, you know, people's parents are passing away, and what does that look like?
Yeah.
Let alone, like, again, starting from high school and coming all the way up to now. And so your emotional maturity changes, how you view the world, whatever
Your
life
likes and
circumstance.
dislikes, as simple as that might feel.
Exactly. And so because maybe we both like ice cream at one point in time, and now you never eating sweets again, that's petty.
Yeah, I'm distraught.
Oh, you distraught?
Yeah, I'd be distraught because I love sweets.
But you can still do that independently. See, you see how I jump back to what
and that's cool. Now I got my thing.
And right, and even leaning into that, right, the curiosity, right, and that's one of the things that allows connectivity in relationships, right? Your thing might not be my thing,
right, and it's okay,
and it's very much so okay. But how do I still support you in you doing your thing, and not seeing that as you taking things away from the relationship or turning the relationship into something that you don't recognize, right? When we're talking about life transitions, right? Having a baby, relationship is not going to go back to the same way that it was prior to that. When you get married, how you engage with y'all's mutual friends. Like that was one of the things that we dealt with, how we engage with our mutual friends before and after we got married, very different. And that doesn't mean anything that's bad, but how is it that we're weathering these things together in a way that strengthens the relationship as opposed to feeling like now it's falling apart because it doesn't look how we used to think. Like, or it doesn't look how it used to look.
How it used to, Yesterday's price ain't today's price. And now you're upset about it.
Ain't.
Yeah. Question for you, because you mentioned this when you talked about hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
Should married people hang out with their single friends? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Because I know things can get really dicey.
Yeah.
But for somebody that I've always had, when I was younger a little bit, I've always had the mindset too that you should hang out with some of your people. You shouldn't X out your homegirl because she ain't never got a man or a girl, like whatever.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't just X those people out.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it's helpful. And I'm not licensed, but so, take this with a grain of salt. But I've always thought it's helpful as a person that is married to have a single friend, because maybe you are in the marriage so deep, you don't realize what's really happening. Like, I feel like sometimes you do have to be there's a level of delusion that you have to have in a marriage. That's what I've always thought.
Okay.
And I say that meaning you have to be okay when stuff is not okay.
Yes.
Like one person has to continue. Like your person might really be like, I don't want to talk to you. It's over. But you have to keep trying, or somebody got to be not chasing after the other person. But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like there has to be a level of delusion. Whereas if y'all just kind of kicking it, this your high school sweetheart, y'all on and off. It's just like whatever. I ain't tripping off her. But when you're married, it's different because you did say the vows.
Yeah.
So now you actually have to work way harder.
Yeah.
Than when you're just have a label on it.
Yeah.
You went to the courthouse now. You spend $100,000 on the wedding.
$100,000
That's nuts. But I think I've always thought people should at least have a single friend, because that single friend might be like, girl, that's not normal. What do you think?
Okay. I think it's okay for you to have single friends, but maybe not for the same reason. Okay. I still have single friends. I am not and this is not even the therapy answer. This is me as an individual.
Yeah.
I'm not really a proponent of new opposite sex single friends.
Yeah, I think that's a red flag.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
because if you wasn't here before our marriage, why are you here after the marriage?
Absolutely.
That just don't make sense to me.
Absolutely. Yeah. So like I have probably half of my bridesmaids are single. And I mean, in this
somebody like, girl, why are you telling our business? I do got a man tucked away.
Tucked away is nuts. And you might
on default.
Listen, but at this moment in time where I am speaking,
right?
You heard. Okay. And so, right, I think it really depends on the caliber of person that you have around you. And because yes, there are times where I might be upset with my husband, and also how I articulate that is very different between a single friend and a married friend.
Right.
Right. And so there are certain, I think it's okay to have a single friend. However, in terms of, there is a different level of understanding and comprehension of married people things. Mm-hmm. And that's no shade to nobody.
That's real.
Because like, I'm always very leery of when people say nothing changed from the time we were dating and engaged to when we were married.
Meaning?
It just all feels the same to them.
Okay. And that's a red flag.
I don't know if it's a red flag. I'm just saying me personally.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why does it feel the same? Mm-hmm. Right. And that's not even necessarily from, it's just a different level and weight of responsibility that comes with, I am saying this person is my spouse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Outside of a marriage certificate, outside of whatever you decide to combine finances, combine households, all of these things, it's just a different weight of responsibility.
Absolutely, yeah.
That if you have not gone through it, you don't necessarily understand. Mm-hmm. There is I don't disagree with you. There is a level of Delulu.
See, I knew it. I told y'all.
It's a small, right? And I think that because, right, it's easy to be like, yeah, we got into this big argument, and so now we sleep in a separate room, which I'm also not a proponent of. Mm-hmm. We sleep in separate rooms. Girl, leave them.
Yeah, like, whoa, relax.
I didn't. It's not that bad.
Right, it's not that serious. You're just sharing and being vulnerable.
Exactly. Right. And so it's just because the vantage point is just different, or maybe, your friend just, her sneaky link decided, you know what, I don't want to be sneaky no more. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Right? Like her whole roster just left. And so now she mad. Yeah. And she like, and you leave them too. No.
1, 2, 3, unite.
Take my hand out the pile.
Right.
Like, yeah. So you just have to be very, very careful.
You do. Yeah, I get
that. But there is a level of Deluluville.
Yeah.
It is.
What do you do when you don't want to tell that friend? Because I do. Yeah, but don't. But if you just feel like, oh my goodness, like I just feel like I need to tell, maybe not tell somebody because it's not that big of a deal. Mm-hmm. I know it's probably a big red flag to tell your mama. You don't want to do that because you open that door.
When them preachers and officiants say, keep the other people out your business.
Just
if
keep
they
it out.
are not trusted people, and you know this already before because people know who they can tell what information to.
You know. Yeah.
So you have to be mature enough within yourself in your marriage to say, or relationship, or whatever we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
To say, okay, I know if I tell her,
it's gonna be a big thing. The family group chat gonna be trying to come get me. Relax, y'all.
Because they're still holding on to that. Y'all done kissed, made up, went on about your life.
It's a year later. They be like, I hope he acting right. Like, what?
What are you talking about?
Like, what, girl?
I don't even remember what happened last week. I was mad. Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Like,
moving on.
Yeah. That's real.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a big part of making the relationship healthy. And when you know you're serious about somebody too, is like before you even get to the marriage part, I think it's like when you hold back from sharing certain things with friends and family.
Yeah.
Like, because if you quick to do it, I just feel like maybe you're still young in it and you don't know better.
Yes.
Or it is you don't feel like it's that serious, because I'm not going to tell certain friends certain stuff unless I know I'm done with you.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
Now, you might think you're done. That might happen.
Yeah.
A couple times and you learn from it.
That did happen to me.
Yeah. I think that's happened to us all.
Yeah.
Eastside, has that ever happened to you? Yeah. And you think you done and you like, yeah, I'm finna text my one friend that's really gonna take it seriously and never let it go. Oops, my bad, sis. Don't worry about it. It was an accident.
I mean, I did not mean it.
Yeah. I just needed to think a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I got another voicemail for you.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I told you, I'm not going to play all the ones I got, because if I did, we'll be here all day.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm not going to do that to you.
Okay, appreciate it.
And I'm trying to get an idea for some of these so I make sure we're not repetitive in our questions. Yeah. Thank you to everybody that has submitted a question, by the way. I really appreciate you guys. This is a good one.
People afraid of commitment?
There we go. Hold on. There we go now.
Are people afraid of commitment or afraid of choosing wrong?
Ooh.
Some bad pics out here. That's what they be saying.
Yikes, I heard it's pee in the dating pool.
Yeah.
Listen.
I've been stopped swimming, so hey, that's on y'all. Michael Phelps got it. I don't know. I'm out of there.
Okay. Picking wrong or don't want to commit.
Yep.
It definitely can be both and.
It can be.
When we are, again, right, because boundaries are the things that guide our behavior. So when we start to step outside of those or feel like we are overstepping our standards, right? Because the standard is what we're allowing to happen or come into our lives. When we start to get outside of that, yeah, you're picking wrong.
Okay.
Like, you're betraying yourself in this. All for the sense of, right, because what did we talk about earlier? All of us want, like humans, want connection, right? And so I feel like that's where you get into the pick and wrong context, right? The commitment part of it, though, because I feel like we want to be picky and choosy about which parts of our lives we want to commit.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not fair.
Not if you're saying that you want authentic human monogamous connection, right? And so I'm willing to share my body, but I don't want to share my mind.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, we want to be picky and choosy.
Yeah. It's been a lot of that. Like I just feel like that's what the world is. I mean, well, not world is. That's what people promote these days. It's just like, yeah, I'm doing all of this, but you can't get that. Yeah. And it can be very confusing because why would you give that if they can't get that?
Exactly.
Like, it literally is like you pull up at the drive-through window. Yeah. Like, get the pick 3. That's literally what it is. Literally. Like, people just picking and miss. Like, So I get what you're saying in that. That makes sense. Okay.
I mean, and two, like, what's the issue with commitment? Right. And so I understand, a lot of people who maybe haven't seen like marriage, healthy relationships or healthy marriages, why there is a hesitancy. Yeah. And also, right, we can only blame what we saw for so long. Like, when do you take accountability for and control of what you want your life to look like and reshape the narrative in a way that you want to see? Yeah. It's not impossible for you to have a lived experience of something that you didn't see. Yeah. It's not impossible. I'm a first generation college grad. I have a master's. Like, within my...
You didn't see it at the time, but you still...
I never saw it.
Were able to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really about your intentionality, your drive.
That's real.
That really is the biggest predictor.
So you saying basically when people hit that point where they be like, well, I didn't grow up with that. I didn't see that. You're 30.
You can't...
No, I'm just saying. It's like, you're 30. You can't keep using that excuse. That's what I'm hearing you say right now.
I didn't put the age on it, but that's what I had said.
I do feel like people just be using certain excuses.
They do.
I feel like people just be like, oh, it's this and that, like,
because it's easier to shift. Come on. It's easier to shift the blame. Yeah. If I really have to be accountable and really have to figure out my life on my own, what does that mean? That that's terrifying for somebody.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah. That's like how people just be like, man, maybe they're 45 and people are like, girl, why you still ain't got no edges? And they're like, well, my mama messed up my perm in 06. Then why are you still blaming your mama for that? Yeah. No, I'm saying, like, people really be still blaming their mama. They be like, girl, why you ain't got no man? Girl, my mom permed my hair wrong in 2000. Now, why that? They ain't got nothing to do with nothing. What they got to do with? People love blaming their mama.
They do love to blame their mothers.
And the perms.
Oh. I mean, research now shows that it really did mess us up.
Yeah, that mesothelioma, I'm telling you. Get your checks. I did kind of stop doing the perms and stuff because I didn't know. Yeah. My mom was a beautician and she used to perm my hair all the time. Yeah. I don't be using that as an excuse, though. Because if I said something, I did something, I'll take accountability for it. Yeah. But everybody can't stand on 10 toes like me.
Uh-oh.
I'm just saying. But I did stop using perms because of all that chaos. Yeah. That was crazy.
Okay, but you 45. Get you some Miracle Grow. Not Miracle Grow.
Get you some Sacred. People, I've heard good things about that.
I have heard good things. I've been using Baskin Lather lately.
I haven't used that yet. I need to get on that.
Yeah, my postpartum edges, they are back now.
How could you share that experience as much as you feel comfortable?
Oh yeah, no, So, you know what?
And explain for people before you break it down what actual postpartum depression is.
Yeah. Oh, well, I was talking about my edges shit.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's please break down the edges too, because there's somebody out there that's reaching for them right now and they trying to figure. Yeah. They trying to get the same You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when we're talking about the hormonal shifts that happen in pregnancy period, right? So when you're pregnant, you have this influx of all the things, right? Estrogen, progesterone. What's that last one? I told you, see that brain fog. That brain fog come in quick. Wow, I can't think of that.
I've seen so many stuff on Twitter. And honestly, I don't know if they're trying to put fear in people, but especially for Black women, I know it's the rates of trauma that have been behind it, the mortality rate, and just all these things. Yeah, seems very scary to have a baby, even though it seems like it's 2026. Things should be more advanced. Yeah,
it should be. And again, this is why I do the birth work, because advocacy, right? Yeah. And I'm a proponent. Fire that doctor and go find somebody else who actually aligns with your hopes, goals, and dreams. Because of all of the hormones that are there's the influx of all of the hormones when you are pregnant, and so when you have that baby, everything plummets. Right. And so a large contributor, and whether you have like postpartum blues, which is, typically like, first couple of weeks, and then postpartum depression, a lot of that, one is the hormonal thing, but two, what does your support system look like or not look like? What are, again, this idea of boundaries? Everybody want to come over and hold the baby. No, you should be holding the parents. The parent's job is to hold the baby. Yeah. If you're going to be part of this community, how are you holding them?
I hate when everybody be holding that baby the first week. Like, why? Like, why? You probably took your son or your daughter to the barbershop or something when she first came out. Because that's what men do. I feel like my dad had me probably like at the barbershop. It's like, why? Put that baby in the crib.
Listen, they said... we outside again.
They just baby. Be like, they just pass the baby around.
Yeah, no. And so that can also contribute, right? When we're talking about postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, postpartum rage, the shedding of the edges, all of the things, because the hormones are just doing all of the things. Then if you decide that you want to breastfeed, again, like for me, like my hormones plummeted again.
Really?
And it's just, again, it's those imbalances of all of those things. And having a support system is really important, right? The same things that even if it's regular depression, if you, right, you know what I mean when I say that. So like the diet, the exercise, nutrition, all of those things play a factor into that. And then, right, this big life transition that has now happened. You want me to do what with this? There's no manual for this thing. What am I supposed to do with her?
Yeah.
That was me.
That's how you feel.
You want me to do what?
Yeah.
And then the ups and downs of, again, if you decide to breastfeed, that journey looked very interesting because my daughter had lip and tongue ties. And so the way that she latched was painful in breastfeeding. Low-key,
and I've heard people say that as well.
It shouldn't be painful.
Oof.
This is why you want to get an IBCLC, which is a lactation specialist, who can really help you navigate. But again, when you're thinking about access and availability to the information, a lot of us don't have that.
Yeah, because I didn't know about that portion until you just mentioned it.
Yeah. And so it's just a lot of things that then go into this. And so, right, and there's also a lot of complexity and mistrust about like, okay, well, what do you mean you want me to get on medication? I'm fine. No, you're not. And it's okay for you to be different. Yeah. Especially when you're talking about the birth of a kid.
Like, that's a big life.
Exactly.
I don't know the correct word for it, but that's a big life moment.
It is.
It's like that's a life transition.
It is a life transition.
You would consider, yeah.
Yes. And so having the support system through that is crucial. But also understanding and knowing, right? So this is where, the different type of therapies that can assist with this. So you have like your cognitive behavioral therapy. So, if I could change my actions, my behaviors will change, right? Or maybe you did have a traumatic birth and maybe you need some type of trauma modality that can then help you kind of like manage through that. What are the support systems? Sometimes people need safety plans because the hormones do drop in such a way. Like sometimes there is maybe some ideation, whether that's suicide or homicidal ideation, because your body is freaking out, because of all of these different things that just happened. And so, with regard to the edges, I mean, hey, they fell out and then they came back. So
thank God I know you felt good when them things came back.
I was also like,
you was cool with it.
Because I knew it was gonna happen.
Really.
So I had come to terms and grips. And honestly, one day I looked up, I said, wait a minute, where were my edges?
Where'd they go?
Where did they go?
Where'd they go? So that's gonna be a fun story when you tell your daughter.
Yeah.
Because I know you're going to tell her.
Absolutely.
Because that's like a black parent thing, especially black mamas. They're going to tell you what you put them through.
But you know what? I am very adamant on, I'm going to tell her, but I don't want to do it in a way that shames.
Mm-hmm.
But really like being able to say, girl,
educating her, just let her know.
My edges fell out, so if one day you have a baby,
FYI,
they might
happen to me, it might happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. I ain't gonna keep you too much longer. I got a couple other questions.
Okay.
Because I really keep you all day long. Because I just had a bunch of questions, and I told you we had people that actually submitted and took the time. That was just like, ooh, wait, ask her this. I'm like, y'all can't ask her all of these questions. Like at this point, we gonna have to pay her. Like y'all doing a lot. So there is there's been a lot of posts about, maybe you know if someone's the one after 3 months. Maybe they're the one after 3 days.
Yeah.
Maybe it's gonna take you three years.
Yeah.
In your expertise, and maybe even just in your personal opinion, does it take long to know someone is the one?
I don't think it necessarily. So I'm not a 3-dayer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're not a love at first sighter?
You might be, but I also feel like you do need to see your love in all 4 seasons.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Right? Mm-hmm. And not only like spring, summer, winter, fall, right? Like mad.
Broke. Because broke will bring out a different type of beast. I've been saying this.
Richer or poorer, baby.
You need to see him in all elements of that. 1 0, 2 0. Hopefully you get to, 6.
I'm claiming it. Right. But really being able to see, like, how do they engage with their friends? How do they engage at family functions? What is it? If they get laid off from their job, what happens?
Yeah, that's real.
I said that because I got laid off.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I wasn't even in a relationship at that time. But like, how do they weather these situations? Yeah. Because that gives a true depiction of when the stuff starts to hit the fan and we're together in this marriage, what's going to happen?
Yeah. Nobody wants to be surprised in that manner.
Exactly. And so I feel like you can have a strong inclination that, hey, I want to be with this person forever. I do think that you can have that pretty early on, but also what are the ways in which you can maintain that? And again, as y'all are living life in the parallel, move with them through all of the seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like that. I agree. I think yeah. Like you said, the 4 seasons, broke, money cool, more money.
Hello,
because that's the end.
Because when we get that more money,
because that's what I'm saying.
Does it disappear?
Because if you real good, I think if you can have a good and just a good attitude, when you down bad and nobody knows you're down bad, you are gonna be a phenomenal person when that check clears.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if you can be cool broke, sky's the limit.
Yeah,
so you can be cool.
Yeah.
2 final questions for you.
Okay.
One is more of a personal question for me.
Okay.
It's coming from me. So I mentioned to you, similar to your daughter, I'm an only child.
Yeah.
So with that, I've like my space. I'm used to my own space.
Yep.
Even when I go home, because my family's still in St. Louis, even when I go home, me and my mom be on the phone like, girl, I miss you. Get home. She's in her room. I'm in my room.
Yeah.
And I might walk in there. I might like lay with her for a second and like, all right, bye.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's how we both are.
Yeah.
Very independent in that manner. So I'm so used to the kind of that space so you can kind of see where I'm setting this up for her. So you can give a general response to that. But the actual question is, do you believe I guess I'll just go straight to marriage. Do you believe marriage can actually work if spouses live separately in different households? Like, what are your thoughts? Keke Palmer just talked about this, and she was like, it seems fun. I can go sneak to my man's house if he next door. I thought it was funny when she said it.
Yeah. So, right, the idea of like living apart together.
Yeah. Maybe just a super big house. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? And so when we're talking about when we're talking about what are the reasons why, right? People do like their autonomy. People do like to be independent, right? Maybe it's scheduling is different, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you got somebody who works overnight and you got the other person who works during the day.
Like, watch out for them nurses.
Uh-oh.
Just playing.
God,
Shout out to my
dog.
sisters.
Oh, I was like,
Shout out to my sisters that's nurses. Not them, though. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the other nurses. The other 12-hour shifters.
Yikes. Or maybe there's even maybe a dynamic where maybe there's kids from a previous relationship and so y'all are set.
That's dicey.
You know what I'm saying?
Oof.
Like there might be a lot of varying reasons why people might want to keep the things separate. I guess the question I would have is, are you prioritizing yourself
more than the relationship?
Yeah, like that would be
That's a
one of
good
my
question.
questions.
Yeah.
Is it more so about I would rather not want to compromise with you and deal with your quirks? Well, then do you
really
want to
be with that person? That's a valid question.
I mean, I'm just wondering. Oh, it's gonna be less conflict. Yeah, but then you're gonna have higher insecurities because what you over there doing at your house? It was a car outside. Who is it?
A car outside is crazy. That's insane.
You got 10 cars. You having a party? I wasn't invited.
That is insane. I don't. When I think of that, I don't think of somebody taking those type of that. That's insane. Why would you do that?
Why would you live in a separate house?
You clocking it. Back to Young Miami. You know it's T. We see them two fingers touch it. Okay, I feel like, and I do feel like if you are willing to compromise.
Yes.
With your partner, to me, that means that you really do, like, you got that heavy like and that heavy love for him, because it's like, I wouldn't consider this with anybody else.
Yes.
But I would consider living under one big roof with you.
Yeah.
Like, I think that means a lot, though.
Yeah. And to me, like the fostering of unity, the ability to really be able to learn how to maneuver through conflict better with each conflict. Right. Like, how are you doing that apart? How are you learning how to manage your temper or still love them when you don't like them? If I get to just go run away.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
I love my husband all the time. There's plenty of times when I don't like him. And I be saying it too. I do. We both say it to one another.
It's cool to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm an honest person. I'm like, I don't like you right now. Give me some time and I'll be back. You know, I'll be back. Just
like, I'm absolutely gonna be back. I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah,
but I just
don't want to talk to you right now.
At all.
Like, no, I'm cool. Yeah,
I be wanting to do it with my daughter, but she too, so she don't get it.
You can't. How you gonna tell her?
She don't get it.
You be like, look, I gotta put you down.
Can you go read a book?
Because you get on my nerves.
But
right.
You want me to read a book?
Now, when she get to that age, you're gonna go ahead and implement that. Be like, look.
We gonna have we about to have quiet time. You go read your book, I go read my book, and then I'll be back, right? But and really that relationship really does allow you to move through things quickly because she really has no
idea what's going on. She just vibing rent free,
rationale. What? Cognitive.
Yeah,
that baby don't know. Her world is falling apart if I didn't give her the color cup she wanted.
Oh, I bet.
Okay. But so there are so many things as a couple that is sharpened when we are in immediate proximity together. And so I'm not saying that you cannot potentially do that. I just personally would not recommend.
But it sounds like, I mean, I get what you're saying too, though. It makes better sense to just go forth. But I'm assuming if the reason is, you know what, I just get overstimulated sometimes, or hey, maybe it's this and it's that, and you feel like you want your space. You would need make sure that your partner is like, okay, I can see them getting irritated right now. We just need a beat. So it would take both parties to understand if I compromise on this, I understand that, okay, you need your space when you need your space because we already in the same roof.
Absolutely.
Two-way street.
Yeah.
Did I say that correctly? Was it two-way street?
Yeah, it's a two-way street.
Okay, well, two-way street. Okay. Last question is, how can people book your services, and what are your information? What's all your information so people can, one, stay connected to you and your three businesses, support you, of course, in the missions that you have, and then also they're just interested in booking an appointment.
Yeah, so if you want to book an appointment, Whole You Therapy KC, so WHOLEYOU Therapy KC.com for the therapy, blissfulbirth.com for any birth
Hypno
types of hypno babies, there's the option of doing online studies, in-person studies. I have group classes. I have a group class that just ended yesterday, and I have another one that starts in another 2 weeks. And then when they end in April, another one that starts immediately after that. So your girl is booked and busy.
I need to see I need to see what's going on. Like, I have to be a part of it.
No, I'll send you a couple videos.
Okay.
I can
please do. Yeah. I'm like, I need to know what. I need to see this. Okay.
Yeah. And so I'm still building out the website for the coaching business, which you can email me at info@wholeintimacy.com with regard to that. But I am on social media. Now, here's the thing. Y'all heard I was busy, right?
Very.
So the Instagram and the pages don't be updated. I'm not going to even hold you.
We know you worked in marketing, so we know if you had the time. We know.
Listen,
we know.
I would do all of the things if I could. At this point, I just need to pay somebody, to be perfectly honest. But that's what's not the point. But Instagram, you can find me at Whole Youth Therapy KC, Whole Intimacy, and Blissful Birth KC.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. This was a great conversation.
Yes,
I enjoyed myself. I hope you had a good time.
I did. I had a great time.
I was gonna say we had some good questions. Thank you to everybody that submitted the questions. Yeah. Continue to let me know who I should have on the show. What should be some other questions, because we definitely want to have you back.
Oh, absolutely. I'm game.
Okay. So you and your sneaky link or your boo, whoever you watch this with, I hope you guys made it to the end of the episode together. If you guys did, you passed the first test. Congratulations. All right.